So two definitions, both critical. There are actually three definitions over here, but two of which are critical. They're worth getting precisely right. The service is a means of delivering value for the customer by facilitating outcomes the customer wants to achieve. So note the emphasis on value, customer outcomes. A service exists for the customer's outcome, not for its own sake. Note is also facilitating outcomes rather than delivering outcomes. The service helps the customer achieve their outcome. The customer still has to do something. The service enables, does not substitute. What's the implication? The customer offloads costs and risks to the service provider in exchange for being able to use the service. They don't take on the risk of running a trading platform, they just trade. They don't take on the risk of operating a HR system, they just access employee data. Moving on to service management, it's a set of capabilities and processes to direct and control the service provider's activities and resources for the design, transition, delivery, and improvement of services. So three things stand out. First, capabilities and processes. Capabilities are what your organization can do. Processes are how it does them consistently. Second, direct and control. Service management is about influence and oversight, not micromanagement. Third, the life cycle. Design, transition, deliver, improvement. Service management is not just running services, it's also designing new ones, transitioning them in, and continually improving. So see if you could write down these definitions from your memory and compare them to the ones on the slide. We also have the definition of a service provider over here. It's the organization or part of the organization that manages and delivers a service or service to the customer. Why high quality services? There are 6 drivers laid out for you on this slide. First is dependency. Organizations are more dependent on services than ever before. Every business runs on technology. Technology runs on services. Services run on management systems. Service quality has business consequences. Second, visibility. When something goes wrong, everyone notices. Senior management, customers, regulators, social media. So service failures are no longer hidden, they are public. Third, exacting user demands. Users expect customer-grade reliability and ease of use at work. They have grown up with Netflix, Uber, online banking. So corporate IT that feels like 1995 doesn't fly. Fourthly, complexity. Modern infrastructure is genuinely complicated. Cloud, on-premise, hybrid, third-party microservices, integrations, etc. The number of things that can go wrong has multiplied. Number 5, charging. When customers pay for service internally or externally, they become more demanding. Money concentrates the mind. And finally, number 6, competition. Customers can switch. If your service quality is poor, they will. So from a practitioner perspective, all 6 are arguments for ISO IEC 20000. So think about what drivers would resonate most with your organization's senior leadership. Different audiences respond to different framings. So good to kind of know your audience because it matters when making the case for investment. We've got some benefits of service management out here. Firstly, it is continual improvement in quality of service and increased business and customer confidence. With a structured service management system, you don't stand still. Every cycle of measurement and review surfaces things that could be better, and you fix them. Customer confidence grows because they see consistent delivery and there are no surprises. Second, Reduce long-term costs in development and delivery. This is counterintuitive because the service management system requires investment upfront. Why does it lead to lower costs over time? Because you stop reinventing the wheel. Standardized processes are efficient. Documented procedures reduce training cost. Catching issues early is cheaper than firefighting them later. Thirdly, reduce risk of failing to meet business objectives. The service management system makes you think systematically about risks and put controls in place. When something goes wrong, and something always does, the impact is contained. Practitioner perspective, notice the framing, confidence, costs, risks. These are the levers leadership cares about. Service management is IT discipline. It's a hard sell to the CFO. Service management as risk management and cost reduction speaks their language. So when you're advising an organization on whether to pursue ISO IEC 20000, framing the benefits this way, in terms of translating service management language into business outcome language, is part of what makes you a useful practitioner. Two more benefits to add to the list. First, the ability to absorb a high rate of change. This one matters more than ever. Every business is changing fast. New technology, new regulations, new customer demands. So without structured change management, every change is a risk. With it, you can change rapidly and safely. Counterintuitively, having more process around change makes you more agile, not less. The discipline is not bureaucracy. It's how you separate good changes from bad ones quickly. Second, management and staff can adopt best practice guidance to enable them to understand their business roles and processes. ISO IEC 20000 does not replace ITIL or COBIT or other frameworks. It works alongside them, adopting the standard structures, the way the organization uses these frameworks, so they integrate rather than compete. Some pitfalls, common pitfalls a practitioner should watch for implementations. First, focus on perfection rather than gradual improvement. That's a common pitfall. Some organizations approach the SMS like a perfect document set they need to produce before they can operate. Then they spend years polishing documents while the SMS is not actually running. Now, better to launch with someone basic than that operates and improve over time. Continual improvement is built into the standard. Second, lack of strategy and service and senior management commitment. The SMS is a senior management responsibility under Clause 5. Without the commitment, the service management system becomes an IT project with limited authority. It might produce documentation, but it won't change behavior or culture. As a practitioner, your first conversation should always be with senior management. Thirdly, immature organization. If the organization has not established basic service management practices, no service desk, no incident process, no change management, going for ISO IEC 20000 certification is premature. Build the basics first, then layer the management system on top. Practitioners often need to advise organizations that they are not ready yet. Fourthly, lack of understanding of customer requirements. The standard is built around customers' requirements. If the organization doesn't know what its customers actually want, typically because it hasn't asked, the SMS has no foundation. Practitioners often start engagements by helping the organization understand its customer base. So these pitfalls are the most common reasons service management system implementations struggle. So as a practitioner, you will see them repeatedly. Recognizing them early and steering organizations away from them is part of the value you bring.